Calibrating to the key of B. Ooh, my, what do you see? Oh, the Samahana Dula B, the Samahana Dula and the Bismillah B. Petita Dula, fallen angel see. So, there are Katarvarna, Petita Dula, Nihitsamvida Saha. So, essentially demons, in this context, being psychic computers. In this context specifically. The Katarvarna, or forecast, well, kind of predictably, one, follow Chelita. Cacophony, or swords, the destroyers, they go on the Aryasthana. They're called swords because of Daradaha. The, I believe the messengers who are associated with trumpets go with the voice. There's some blow syllabary for you. And they're associated with, well, causal, the second level. The instrumental ones of the guardians are associated with the third level, or the dream level, and the mundane, or the psychopomps, or the Manavir avatar. Oh yeah, this is actually fascinating. So, strictly speaking, demons have avatar or incarnations that are, strictly speaking, non-physical. Now, they interact with the physical. They are not per se Zaraka avatar. They're not physical incarnations, but they are avatara that actually inherently touch all four levels of Chelita, regardless of whether or not they're actually Zaraka, physical avatar incarnations. Which is why it's helpful to know which levels are associated with which ones. So the ones we're doing now, if I can find the freaking section, are for the ones that typically use the mundane embeds. Now, I am of the opinion that this is actually because of them representing the music of the spheres. Now, the music of the spheres actually doesn't have a mundane sphere, but it does have Humane, Babat, Humane, Samakarari, Anvavakarari, Pindikarori Dostate, Prasadayati, Abilakati, if you want. Which essentially just means, like, allows you to basically incept that information set into your head. If you want to. You don't have to. Pretty obvious. It might not be obvious, but like I'm trying to say, it should be obvious. As we've already gone over, you actually have to, like, say yes to accept this sort of thing. Ooh. Symbols for alchemy. Well, where are you? Oh, no. Oh. Ah, yes. mundane. What are the mundane embeds? Well, the mundane embeds, oh, yes. Actually, this is an important part. Shata kakra patita dula. Now, here's the thing. We are currently talking about, specifically, psychopomps. Now, there isn't a word for psychopomp in Sanskrit. However, oh, you know what? These might be workers. It might be workers. Because, oh, you know what? Because they're tied with the demiurgos, so of course they'd be workers. Because the psychopomps are associated with the 4th level, or with the dance level. Yeah. Alright. Well, I'm going to run through some of the mundane embeds. Alibi. Associate and integrate. Authorized. Clothes make the man. Cuckoo's egg. Deep cover. Diversion. Don't I know you? Earworm. Going native. Homogeneous memory. Identity theft. Idle conversation. In my pocket. Interference. The last place you look. Like the movies. Living recorder. Land of the dead. Or Lost in the Crowd. Land of the dead. Meaningless. Mistaken identity. Never here. Occam's razor. Persistent legend. Quick change. Unperson. The voting dead. Wave function collapse. That's a great one. Without a trace, you can tell me. So I'm gonna go. Wave function collapse is a very useful thing to be able to do in general. Now, it's generally used when demons are attacking each other, but that's not really useful as a thing to do to another human being, because while our minds are essentially a quantum waveform, you can't just be like, pink, poof, your mind collapses. Like, it doesn't work that way. That said, it is very useful to combine this with another embed, specifically fractal reality, followed by with whatever you want to do in the middle, followed by a wave function collapse. What this essentially allows you to do is create essentially an internal psychic space that is a Pratuya Tattva. It's essentially a micro reality inside of your own mind that you can then when I came up with this, I originally did it with download knowledge and then wave function collapse. So essentially, you basically create a micro reality inside your head. Then you basically ask the universe for the knowledge that you need at that moment, and then once you have it, you collapse the waveform of that micro reality and basically bimabadi it down into reality. I think that's pretty neat. Now that requires something from a different embed set, which actually isn't a problem just in general, because here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that the actual best way to do an embed is to do one from each of the four sets. I just really haven't found one that I wanted to do that way yet. But here's another thing. Like, you can get more information about all of these from White Wolf fandom. You can't. You just can't. Like, it's right there. But the thing about these things is, and perhaps, like, because of being a writer, I grasp this, like, inherently, these words are based inherently, or these abilities, or what these things do, is largely based on a combination of personal interpretation intersecting with common consciousness, which is why they work specifically in terms of things like Patita Duel or Fallen Demons, because those are things like that are specific to us and our interactions with society. I don't know how to explain it better than that. However, Babat, Babat, Manavi Patidadula, Mula, Devayantra. Samakarari Zarabagavazingubari. Anvava Karari Zarabagazingubari. Nergaroi Zarabagingubari. Pindikarori Zarabagingubari. Nergaroi Zarabagingubari. Karma Karodi Zarabagazingubari. Nergaroi Zarabagingubari. Prasarayari Zarabagingubari. Nergaroi Zarabagingubari. Vimabavi Babari Zarabagazingubari. Now, what that is for. Oh, also, Mundane, Universalis, Navi Karani. Or Navi Karana. Navi Karana. So, that first part is essentially to allow you, if you're so inclined, to basically, like, call out on, like, your particular Manavi Patita Dula Avatara. And essentially, incept it to basically more or less identify with you. And then allow you to essentially use them to assume the shape of Damayanti to help ground embeds for yourself at the level of the dance. So there's that. And the last part was about specifically taking this and upgrading it to that. And that's what that's for. All right. Thank you for watching. Please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe.